Few things are more horrific than the death of a baby at the hands of its own mother. That's the crime that sent Brenda Snyder to jail for 50 years, murder in the second degree. Brenda Snyder was a young mother in rural upstate New York whose babies were rushed to the emergency room again and again and again because they had mysteriously stopped breathing. But no matter how hard they tried, the local doctors could find nothing wrong with the babies. It turned out, however, that there was a good deal wrong with Brenda Snyder. A good deal wrong that many people failed to notice. She was tried this past spring for repeatedly trying to suffocate two of her children, including her daughter Lisa. After 2 long years of this abuse, Lisa died. Her mother was convicted of murder. Lisa Judware was a delightful little girl. Everyone who knew her was enchanted by her, including her mother, Brenda Snyder, who is now in prison for murdering her.
She was happy, chubby, very pleasant to be around.
How old is she in this picture? About 2?
18 months. Yep.
Year and a half.
Yep.
And she died when she was
25 months.
just 2 years old.
Yep.
Killed by her own mother. But for years, as the prosecutor in the case Derek Champagne, no one in the small town of Malone, New York, knew what Brenda Snyder was up to when she was alone with her children.
She would take a pillow or a blanket and physically place her hand with the blanket or the pillow over the child's mouth. It's a horrific thought. The children most likely struggled violently, and they became unconscious, and at that time, Brenda would stop the suffocation.
And then she would dial 911.
Do you have an emergency?
Yes, I need a rescue on High Street in Aurora.
High Street?
Yes.
Can I have your name, please?
Brenda Slater.
What's the problem, Brenda?
My daughter has stopped breathing.
Is she breathing now?
Yeah, she's breathing now.
I'll send him out, Brenda.
And when the rescuers arrived to rush her baby to the hospital, Brenda Snyder would always tell the same story. That little Lisa has mysteriously stopped breathing and had turned blue, and she had no idea why. It was a story that Lisa's pediatrician, Dr. Ira Weissman, would hear again and again.
I think the first episode was at 1 month of age. She had 3 significant episodes where she got admitted during the first 3 months.
Did you begin to be the least bit suspicious?
I was suspicious after the second and third.
Suspicious because Lisa's older brother had had similar attacks when he was alone with his mother. But Dr. Weissman could never confirm his suspicions, and he continued to search unsuccessfully for a medical explanation.
Every one of Lisa Marie's test results ever done came back normal. Effectively, Lisa Marie was a healthy, normal child, except for when her mother was suffocating her.
Brenda Snyder was suffocating her daughter, he says, partly because her family earned generous welfare benefits for having a supposedly sick child. But she also did it to get special attention for herself from doctors and rescue workers, according to Dr. Janice Ophoven, a pediatric forensic pathologist and child abuse expert who testified against Brenda Snyder in court.
It is a particularly insidious and frequently lethal form of harming children that is done secretly or covertly in order to trick the medical professionals.
For years, some hospitals have been using hidden cameras to catch mothers like Brenda Snyder abusing their children.
Mom's in bed with the baby.
Dr. Ophoven showed us this video of a woman and her baby one night in a hospital in the Midwest.
Notice she's picking the blanket up. She puts it over his face and then puts the full weight of her body on his head.
Oh, no. This is real life?
This is being
The baby survived, but the mother soon lost custody of him.
It's a form of harm that seems to me to be particularly evil.
And particularly hard for a doctor to catch because it leaves almost no trace.